Hello YouTube, it's time for another collection update video. This time I have two things to show to you. First of all, let's start with this game here. This is Pier by Team Watermelon, and this is the actual package it came in. Hope you can see it on the camera. It's in kind of this. It came in kind of this clamshell packaging, but this is very easily opened without having to destroy it. So let me open it up for you and show you what's inside. And inside we have this box, which looks like a regular old Genesis or Mega Drive cartridge box from back in the day. I must say Team Watermelon have done an awesome job of reproducing this. The whole cartridge, the whole box, everything looks really authentic and awesome. Okay, as you can see here, it's a high density cartridge, 64 meg. I think it's the biggest game ever that was released on the Mega Drive or Genesis, but correct me if I'm wrong. What this is, it's basically an RPG for the Mega Drive, and from what I heard, a really good one as well. It was in development for quite some time, but I think it really paid off. It's definitely one of the most beautiful games I've played on the system. Even though I'm not the hugest or biggest Mega Drive Genesis fan, I really think that the graphics and the colors in this game are really awesome. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, what we have in here is, first of all, I can show you the inside a bit. Oh, you can see it. What came out of it is this here. This is, I think, a small poster. Let's try to wrap it out without actually damaging it. Yes. This is the poster that came with the game. You can also see that there's a watermelon sticker on top here, where my finger points. And there's a really nice colored instruction book. It's not black and white. They really did an awesome job with this. Also, it's printed on a, I would say, high quality paper. It's very thick paper, and it has like a glossy finish. So it feels very nice. The instruction manual is in quite a few languages, even in German, Spanish, and a few other languages. What I have here is the European, the US version of the game. I think there's also a Japanese and a European version of the game. The difference is that the cartridge box and the packaging looks basically like they would look in each respective territory. So another nice thing they gave away for free with this are these stickers here, which look really nice. Obviously I'm not going to put them anywhere, they're going to stay in the box as a collector's item. What I have here is actually the first reprint edition. It's not the original first print version. I only heard about this project very late, and when I heard about it and I wanted to buy it, the first print, it was already sold out, so I had to wait for the reprint edition. The first version also had the soundtrack, enhanced soundtrack CD with it, but I'll get to this at a later point. This is the game, the actual game. It's in the box. As you can see, it looks like an original Genesis or Mega Drive cartridge from back in the day. And this will play on your regular Genesis or Mega Drive, or I've tried it on my Multi-Mega, which works awesome, also with the enhanced soundtrack CD, to which, as I said, I will get back later. So yeah, this is really awesome to have a game like this released on the Mega Drive that late. Maybe some information for some of you who don't know a lot about this game. This was, as I said, this was released recently, not too long ago, I think 1 year or 2 years ago. The first print version is highly sought after and it's really expensive now to get it on eBay. I'm really lucky that I got the first reprint edition at a decent price. I think it was like 35 or 40 euros including shipping, which is a really good price for this, because as I said, it's really authentic, it looks really good, it looks really like an original game. The game itself has now been, the developer has made a Kickstarter drive for this game to release an HD version of the game, which will basically be released, I think, on Xbox Live and on PC and so on, and on all the platforms. I took part in the Kickstarter campaign because one of the exclusive things, one of the rewards was an HD version of the game for the Dreamcast, for the Sega Dreamcast. So I took part in the Kickstarter as well, and I opted to get the Sega Dreamcast HD version of the game, which will be basically a part of the, for example, Xbox version scaled down to the highest Dreamcast resolution. But I still think it should look awesome. And for purists, it will also include the Mega Drive mode, so that you can switch between the visual modes basically. So that it also on the Dreamcast, if you want to, you can have it look like the Mega Drive version. Even though the Kickstarter is already over quite some time ago, you will be able to buy the HD version later when it's released on Xbox Live Arcade and on all the other platforms it's going to be released for. I think even the Wii U, there's even a Wii U version planned, I think. I might get this version as well on top of all the others at some point, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, so this was the game itself. As I said, in the first version, in the first print version, there was already also a soundtrack, enhanced soundtrack CD included, which unfortunately it wasn't included in the reprints, but for cost reasons I guess. But they made the image file of the actual soundtrack CD available for free, so you could just burn it yourself and use it. I've tried this and it works flawlessly on my Multimega. What this means is that I think this is also, this is the first game to ever do this on the Mega Drive, where you can play the game on your Mega Drive, and if you have a Sega CD, or as I have a Multimega, or I think CDX as it's called in America, if you have one of these options, then you can have the soundtrack of the game, which usually comes from the cartridge, obviously, enhanced by using the soundtrack CD. Put it in the CD player of your Mega Drive and switch to the soundtrack from the CD. So you will have CD quality soundtrack in the game, which is an awesome thing, and I think it hasn't been done with any of the official releases back then. So this is really an awesome thing. Yeah, I've tried using the burnt copy of the soundtrack, which, as I said, was available for free, so no problems here. It worked really fine. But at some point, Watermelon announced that they are also going to sell a soundtrack set of the game. And since it was already also very moderately priced, I decided to get one. One of the main selling points for me was that in the soundtrack set, which I think consists of 4 CDs, they also included the enhanced soundtrack CD for people like me who don't have the first print, so they have a proper, really pressed copy of the soundtrack, so they don't have to use a burnt copy for the enhanced soundtrack. So I decided to get this as well, and I'm going to show you this now as well. This is the box it came in. It looks like a regular box, but I hope you can somehow manage to see this on the camera here, that there's a little imprint here with the Team Watermelon logo, which I found a very nice touch. This is why I kept the box. I would have used it for something else, for storing, I don't know, small things, but now I'm only basically this is also a collector's item now, the box itself. In the box itself, here's the soundtrack, and as I think I was correct, it has 4 CDs. It has a glossy finish, and you can see the logo and everything. This is the back cover. Again, very high quality, and if you open it, I'm going to show you all the inlets first. There's like this fake spine card, which you can find on Japanese releases, I think, of CDs and games. Then there's this I don't know how you want to call this leaflet. Looks like these old advertisements which came with the games back in the day. And on the other side there's a really nice poster. And this is what the CDs look inside. Should be able to see that again, this is really high quality. I don't think there are a lot of major label releases which look as nice as this, especially for the price they were selling this. So this contains the soundtrack from the whole game. It contains remixes and lost treasures and so on and so on. And as I said, one of the main selling points for me was the enhanced soundtrack CD, which is this one, which I'm going to be using on my Multimega to see how it should work. I haven't tried it yet, but as it worked with the burned copy, it should also work with this one. On the CDs themselves, on the regular soundtrack CDs, you can see character portraits of some of the main characters from the game. And let's see what happens when you remove one of the CDs. There's also still some background images. And when you remove the enhanced soundtrack CD, there's still a special background which makes it look really nice, even though the CD was removed. So yeah, these are the two things I wanted to show you. They are kind of connected, since one of them is the soundtrack for the game and the other one is the game itself. But definitely I think it might be the best homebrew game I've ever purchased so far, and I'm really looking forward to more releases from Team Watermelon, and I'm definitely going to support them in the future. I've supported them with the Kickstarter pledge. I'm really looking forward to the Dreamcast version of the game. And let's see if other homebrew or independent releases for old consoles can keep up with this, because I think this and this really sets the bar very high for future releases. And I'm hoping that end of this month the miracle will happen and that Sturmwind will finally be released. I've pre-ordered the limited edition of Sturmwind, and I'm hoping that it will be released at the end of this month as promised and arrive quite soon. And if it does, I promise I'm going to make an unboxing video and a collection update video of Sturmwind as soon as it arrives. And that's it from my side for now. So see you later. Comment, rate, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.